Today, Rinpoche explained the big difference between the nihilist point of view and the Madhyamikan point of view. The nihilists assert that things are causeless. Madhyamakas assert that things are caused, and therefore, because they are caused, they dependently originate. And because of dependent origination, they lack intrinsic existence. But they do not exist, as the nihilists assert. So everyone following along, we're going to start today on page 6. I'm sorry, I'm in the Tibetan. Page 150, right where it says, that's where I said, right? Yeah. It's something about cause and effect. Madhyamika is a nihilist. Okay, so see it says on page 150, first paragraph, maybe 10 more lines down. Thank you so much. Madhyamakas propound that things such as karma and its effect lack intrinsic existence. Right there is where we're going to be reading from. Like 2 sentences before it says 603 in parentheses. So right about there. All right. Digson Rinpoche.
Okay. Oma ba chawa yogares. Oma sana ane wade oma sana doni lukogore doni. Oma se chiki lukogore chiki. Daba drupe tomba dala oma lagore oma.
Okay.
Oma ba sana te kelen ke tene kaza dala oma bas.
Less so.
Oma bas oma ba.
So Rinpoche's, I'm going to try the best I can to do this with, I'm not sure whether I should do it with the English or the Sanskrit. Well, it's all going to make sense in a second. When we look at the 2 words, Madhyamaka and Madhyamikan, the difference between these two, Madhyamaka is referring to a tenet of emptiness that presents the lack of true establishment of phenomena. So when we look at what the assertion is of Madhyamaka, it is that of the lacking of true establishment, emptiness. A Madhyamikan is someone who is a follower of that Madhyamika philosophy. So in the Tibetan, you'll see the word for the system and the word for the practitioner of the system. And that's what Rinpoche is basically explaining, is that in the Tibetan, when you see one word, it's referring to the system of the lack of true establishment of phenomena, emptiness, and the other is referring to the practitioner of that system. So in here, it says, some say that Madhyamikas are referring to the practitioners of Madhyamika. Sometimes it'll be Madhyamikan, but here it says some say that Madhyamikas. So it would be a consequential school. No, it wouldn't be. It would be middle way school or middle way practitioner, middle wayist, if you could. So that's what the 2 words, what the difference between the 2 words. One's the system and the other's a practitioner of the system. Discernims. So we use the reason of dependent origination in the middle way to prove lack of true establishment. Discern. Less so. So here it says that the Madhyamakas, those practitioners of the Madhyamika, the middle wayists, they hold that such things lack intrinsic existence or lack true establishment. They propound that things such as karma and its effects lack intrinsic existence. So karma and its effect here are referring to action and consequence. All results or all consequences rely on their causes. So here, this system of cause and effect requires dependent origination, and therefore Madhyamakas propound lack of intrinsic existence or a lack of true establishment because of the reason of dependent origination. So, Geshe Rinpoche.
Jiden Hama ne ndurwa dan ndene shimandwa tonga jusen do she ne mebar mayu jusen la cheba chede chesele de kaji omaba ne mebaba dan cheba meba yinde kan gishir gawa dan magawa le dan shebabo Lena Shababudan, Drebudan, Jiden Tanji, Rajinji, Tombamha Yimbe, Tombamha Yila, and Maba Tada Jan, Tada Mento She, Pawa Sheba Yimbe, Yimba Tisher, Omabane, and Mababa Sheba Maba. Cheba medo she gora shedo tata ya maide ne omaba ta ne tenjin reba jwa ma yila tenjin reba jwa jo yishir jiten dan jiten lende jiten paru la soba tanje ranjin che meba ma ra shedo meba ba ta gi ne Tada tenjin reba juwa yinbi jusen chi rangin chi tongpa nyi chi gune, rangin chi tongpa nyi chi gune, jiten paru la soba, ngobu meba toba, mayi de, wen de, ji shir shena, jiten di ngobu, naba rangin chi mi ne, tada jiten paru ne, Dene paru tunruwa tune, jiten der, mibi ngobu dan, jawa, ngobu yenda la koban deba, sheba yeno, she sonzos.
Did someone come in? Can you just look? Ted's not here, so he usually checks when someone comes in the door who it is, just to make sure, because some places have had problems. Oh. You know what I mean? Yeah. Thank you. So if you could just do that, because you're closest to the door to check. Sorry to interrupt the class. I just realized Ted's not here. You get it, what I'm saying, right? Okay. Stasha could explain. She's paranoid like me. Okay. Okay, so this system here is showing that Madhyamakas do assert cause and effect, and they do assert karma and its results, and then they do differ then from the nihilists. So here now you're going to see the points made to show those differences. So here it says, I just got to Madhyamakas propound that such things as karma and its effects lack intrinsic existence by reason of their being dependent arising. Nihilists do not assert that karma and its effects are dependent arisings, so they do not use dependent arising as a reason to support of their thesis. Instead, to support their claim that karma and its effects are non-existent, the reason they give is that the living beings who are here now were not seen arriving in this life from a former one, and are not seen leaving it for a future one. Hence, there is an enormous difference between nihilists and Madhyamakas in their reasons. Chandrakirti's clear word says, so just as a note, basically, the nihilists are saying, you can't see it, so it's not there. You don't see this happen, so it doesn't happen, because you don't see it happen. And then Chandrakirti's clear words, we find the rebuttal. Some say that Madhyamakas are no different from nihilists. Why? Because Madhyamakas propound that virtuous and non-virtuous actions, agents, and effects, as well as all the worlds of this and other lifetimes, are empty of intrinsic existence. While nihilists propound that while nihilists propound that these are non-existence. Hence they argue that Madhyamakas do not differ from nihilists. Such is not the case, for Madhyamakas propound dependent arising and propound that because of being dependent arisings, everything, this world, other worlds, and so forth, lacks intrinsic existence. The nihilist understanding that things such as other worlds beyond this lifetime are not real is not reached via knowledge that those things are empty of intrinsic existence due to being dependent arisings. What do they claim? They regard these objects of the things in this world as naturally existent. They do not see them come in this world from another or go to another world from this one, so they deny the existence of other things, example, former lives and future lives, which are in fact like the things seen in this world. I think that's where Rinpoche read to. She Sung So. Diksong Rinpoche.
Yeah.
Da Drapa Long Tsar. Gelde. She Sung So Gelde.
Sung So's.
Then Gelde.
Cheseles.
De Jujason. Gongel Mepichi. The song beche, the son, song so.
She Sung So's.
The get.
Get the Omabas.
It's sampa de. The drop along.
Yeah, get
Tsar. Okay.
Get the Omabadan. Chetawani, Jusen
Datayen.
Jusen Masumba Tadana. Lendedan. Jiten Hashila. Hashila ranking to be Raji Meba. Toban Daishir Raji Meba. Tawande, Sonso Nhana. And they are Madate. Kui Raji Meba ne. Kui Raji Meba ne. Imentu Debe. Deni Kantoyan. Kemelela. Oma Yu ne. Lende Su Te Tada Yuba. Kunzu Do. Kelembi Shete Sisele. Kete Teta. Kete Teta Na. Kete Teta Na. Teta Ki. Maboraki Yuba. Yuba Maimba. Nila Meba Nito. To be sure. Reji Tawandi Gune. Somba Yudo Shena. Mente Omabataki. Kundu de Yuba Kelambi Shir. Kundu de Yuba Kelambi Shir. Shila. Tedaki Ke Malambi Shir. Musumba Nito Shesung Sos. Tena Kundu Deyan Lendesu. Ke Melambi Omaba Dobane. Jiten Jampen Badan. Tawan Dawa Tendo. Der Lumenji. Ta Chetawadan. Mandayu Jusento. De la Kelen Yuba. Kula. Mebe Shejang Masula. Tada Meba Deba La. Tada Meba Dola. Kuja Tada Meba. Mamayi. Yuba Maimba. Dechi Masua. Raji Meba Dan. Ti Jusento. Tendi Kobadan. Naja Tena Yuba. Kunzu Do. Jeba Somba Jino. Kete Lende La Soba. Rangi. Ngojoba. Raji Meba Tela. Chetayu Tada. Meba Doba Na. Tada La Raji Meba Dobe. Tada Meba Mebi Chet Mebi Chadan. Omabadan Tonso She Nyana. Tonso Nyana. Deyan Che Shindo Mandate Bena. No Kubi Mejila. Jiki de Kuba Meshi Jindo, de Gusu She Junji, Gunemala, Jiki, Goma de no Kuba Tune, de Gusu She Mana. Teni Ge no Gusu She Meba, Tatato Goma de Jan, Gume Jan, Jiki ne, Jumala Jishi ne, Deba. 마유 모송바지노 치셀레 대한 치셀레 개동어부 총수세나 개대양 어부 마루바 총바다 마이나 도바부 타테베 모송바니도 버나 그시 메지라 지게는 야다바 메시진도 되다 Madai Zumala, Madai Zumane, de Gusu She, Tela, Lobama Shela, Zen de Ngosu, Tone, Sunjiba Shedo, Tela, Ngobu Tateba Meba, Tetana, Ngobu Tatebe, Jila, Ne, Zuduma Shejula, Zela Ne, Deba Ma Sheshawu, Jila Ne, Yadabar Da Ne, Jaba Mayimba Da, Kana Matua Sheshawu, Jila Ne, Yadaba Daba, Jaba Mayimba Da, Kana Matua Anjula, Jen Ne, Mayimba Tejido, Deyang Ngobu, Rangi Ngo, Chitawaji, Reba na Kondo Chubada, Pebada Meba wa Ngoburangi, Mujetawaji, Reba, Mayimba Tadan, Sanji Shebadan, Jobadan, Neji Jobadan, Somba Mayino, Sheson Zos, Kalejuna.
Sheson, did Dao drop along? Sheson Kabiore Shesong So the Deni Kachi Rang Kabiore
Dena Kachi
Okay the lesson
Yeah
Okay Sheso I just want to make sure where we were. All right. Quam, even though Madhyamakas and nihilists cite different reasons, their views of absence of intrinsic existence are the same, because they are alike in realizing that karma and its effects in the worlds of past and future lifetimes lack essential or intrinsic existence. Just as a note, what Chandrakirti is pointing out that is that the way that Madhyamakas come to emptiness is not the way that nihilists come to non-existence. So they're saying, so that's the first point that's being made here, if anybody's just trying to figure out what's going on. Chandrakirti's showing that one point, and that is that the way that Madhyamakas assert emptiness and lack of true establishment is not the way that nihilists come about asserting non-existence. So people saying that they're the same, they're not even the same in premise and as far as philosophy, let alone that Madhyamakas say conventionally these things do exist. That's not the point that is being made here. The point's being made that those who say it's the same are mistaken because they don't arrive at their result the same way. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that everyone was clear on that. Rinpoche told me to do this, so. Even though Madhyamakas and nihilists cite different reasons, their views of absence of intrinsic existence are the same because they are alike in realizing that karma and its effects and the worlds of past and future lifetimes lack essential or intrinsic existence. Response. Even in this they differ, for nihilists hold that the absence of intrinsic existence is utter non-existence. Now here they're going to get into the next proof about the fact that Madhyamakas don't assert non-existent. Even in this they differ, for nihilists hold that the absence of intrinsic existence is an utter non-existence, and thus they do not accept karma, etc., as either of the two truths. Madhyamakas, however, accept conventionally the existence of such things as karma and its effects. Chandrakirti's clear word says, Quam, even so, their views are similar in one way because nihilists consider the absence of an essence in things to be non-existence. Reply, this is not so. They are not similar because Madhyamakas assert that things without essence exist conventionally. These nihilists do not assert them at all. This shows that those who claim to be Madhyamakas yet do not accept the existence of karma and its effects even conventionally, in fact have a view similar to that of the Lokayata nihilists. What reason does the Master Chandrakirti give for the difference between Madhyamakas and nihilists? He does not say because they have assertions, whereas we do not. He does not say they assert that these are non-existents, whereas we do not say that they are non-existent. Mepa. Rather, we hold that they are not existent, Yoba Mayin. Instead, he says that Madhyamakas propound that karma and such lack intrinsic existence. He says that Madhyamakas cite dependent arisings as the reason for that of lack of intrinsic existence. He says that Madhyamakas do not accept those teachings on karma and such in conventional terms. Quam. You propose that things such as karma and its effects lack essential or intrinsic existence. Those nihilists who assert that such things lack intrinsic existence inasmuch as they assert that they are non-existent. Therefore, they agree with Madhyamakas about the lack of intrinsic existence. So they say taking too much away, that's nihilism. And then leaving too much is substantialism. So here is taking too much away. Here it's saying that just because they're saying there's lack of true existence, where nihilists are saying that ultimately, in an ultimate sense, because there's nothing there, it really doesn't lack any true existence. And the two points that are being made are not the same. Again, there is a very great difference. For example, suppose someone who does not know who stole some Jews deceptively states, that person committed the robbery. Another person who saw the thief steal the jewels also says, that person committed the robbery. As it happens, they identify the same thief who has actually stolen the jewels, yet they are not alike, for one spoke deceptively and the other honestly. In this vein, Chandrakirti's clear word says, objection, Madhyamakas and nihilists agree about real things. Even if they agree that real things do not exist, they are still not the same because the way that they know that is different. So the way they come about it isn't the same. For example, suppose someone does not really know that a certain person committed a robbery, but out of animosity toward that person dishonestly proclaims this person committed the robbery. Another person makes the same accusation having actually seen the robbery, even though there is no difference between those two with regard to the fact. Still, there is a difference in the two accusers. For of the one it is said, that one speaks dishonestly, and of the other, that one speaks honestly. A careful investigation of the first person will lead to disgrace and reproach, but such is not the case with the second. Similarly, here also, when the understanding and the utterances of Madhyamaka, who accurately know the nature of things, are compound to the nihilists, who do not accurately know the nature of things, what they know and say are not alike. Some persons, in understanding the absence of intrinsic existence, think that reason refutes such things as karma and its effects. Thus, they conclude that cause and effect cannot be posited in their own system. Chandrakirti totally refutes the proposition that such persons, though wrong about the class of appearances, i.e. conventionalities, have gained an accurate view of the class of emptiness. Therefore, do not take emptiness to mean being empty of the capacity to perform functions. Instead, you must have a way to posit the dependent arising of causes and effects despite the absence of intrinsic existence. Chandrakirti's commentary on the 400 stanzas says, in that case, regarding an object, when it is produced, it does not come. Likewise, when it ceases, it does not go. It definitely does not intrinsically exist if it does not it definitely does not intrinsically exist. If it does not intrinsically exist, then what is there? Dependent arising. Entities caused by the afflicted and the pure do exist. I think that's where Rinpoche read to. Okay, Rinpoche. Digsung Shesung So Deni Kachi Deni Kachi Shesung So Deni Kachi
Deni Kachi Tadden Haman and the Yuan and then the Shaman was later do Joan Haman and the Yuan. And I to sentient to Galo Canayum was Canayum was a Tribaina. And the water was the drum shaking away of Marba.
So
Jumping back a Juman was. And Kaji Dali Chibores, Kaji Yanli Chibores, Kaji Nigali Chibores. What the sentient Ganesh was now, what the Sindam of Momodua. And then also Nabajana think Hamani over this.
less so.
Hamani over Jusen Karisana. And what the sentient Sheba Yuares. Sheba Yueta, Sheba del Tuma Yomares. Sheba la Tuma Manta, Sheba Jula Yebe, Kanza de la Tuma Yomares. What the little Marba?
Okay, so there are many different positions on, in terms of the various systems on where sentient beings arise from. The nihilists state that a being has no cause whatsoever. So the nihilists propound causeless. Everything's just random. There's no cause. And other schools present that things arise from themselves. Some present arisal from other, like a god, something other. So then some state that there are arisal from a combination of self and other. And then there are the nihilists who say that there's no cause, there's nothing whatsoever. So these are the four things that, as a translator's note, Nagarjuna refutes and Chandrakirti refutes, and it's that things arise from self, other, a combination of both, or neither, being causeless. So here, this is getting rid of this idea of causelessness and showing that those nihilists who propound causelessness are different than the nihilists assert causelessness, then assert non-existence, whereas the Madhyamakas assert the conventional existence and do not assert non-existence, and their lack of intrinsic existence is not an assertion of non-existence. It's just an assertion of dependent origination. When we look at what Buddhism states, how Buddhism states we come about, or sentient beings come about, it's because we have consciousness, and the consciousness came from a previous moment's consciousness that came from a previous moment's consciousness. And when we look at that string, or that continuum, we won't find a beginning. So Buddhists assert beginninglessness, a beginningless stream of consciousness. So therefore, the consciousness possessor is beginningless as well. So there's a beginningless consciousness possessors and beginningless consciousness. Because there's been a possessor of that consciousness, just in different lives, in different forms and shapes and types of beings, but that consciousness itself is beginningless, just like possessor. There's always been a possessor of the consciousness since beginningless time. Not the same possessor, just a possessor. Just a kin in Tibetan in language. It's a possessor. So no beginning. Digsung Rinpoche.
De na kaji raji meba ko na lende su rebe ka ba ko ne junde ran lo la ja to meba te ya han shu gunzu ba la lo ba shu ba yin ya ton shu ji tawa manoa nyeba ma le ba ka ba yin no te na ne ton ba tenje ne ton ge tomba maswa raji mejan junde je tende junde je tende ne junde je tende josa yoba shi gude jijabin de bale jan jijabin de bale tatayan tu kan shena tu kan ji 제발하는 용화당 라진가라 로아메 달랑해봐 라진메도 게데 달라 라진메나 지지 유제나 줘바샤데 강군군에 녀모바당 나버샹유 준대시바 모니 땡진 대반종 대여라 셰송데 데네 라지메나 데네 지지 유제비 랜서와데도 소면 성지장지장 여바당 의 주비 셔바 세와시네 랜제데 라지니슈빈 제발레 해봐 게데 뒤장 매 주단 레부 초방 주단 레부 초방 매나 제지시 대다유 되네 매바마와니 이노 시바 마이데 매바 마이노 시바 마이데 제대로 소바다 모니레 여바 용소 또바시바 데다 메테바 세제 다다 때네 다바 ngabo mawa doba tar rangi ngoy truba me to shekaba yinche tene daba ne ngoy tro she tende yeba sombi shiro tata na rangi yume ta yume jebo te shena ne lotu pa do meba doba joshin rangi yuba gobe reba na la yuba tang goba choba maji ngabo mawa keba na la oma be len debe chi zu ne jibu te go ne yima chungzi sheba yino.
The Yabudu, the Leyu Sarpa, NGK.
Yeah.
Then Chishina the Kachu, then Makana, then Leyu Sarpa Gutso. Okay, that's good. Yeah. So I read, I'm just going to reread something, just because I read further on. They're both Chandrakirti quotes, so I read a little extra. You'll see what I mean. The Clear Words quote ends on page 152. And then the 400 verses quote. So I read that extra paragraph in there. So let me reread it. Some persons, in understanding the absence of intrinsic existence, think that reason refutes such things as karma and its effects. Thus they conclude that cause and effect cannot be posited in their own system. Chandrakirti totally refutes the proposition that such persons, though wrong about the class of appearances, i.e. conventionalities, have gained an accurate view of the class of emptiness. Therefore, do not take emptiness to mean being empty of the capacity to perform functions. Instead, you must have a way to posit the depending arising of causes and effects despite the absence of intrinsic existence. Chandrakirti's commentary on the 400 verses stanzas says, in that case, regarding an object, when it is produced, it does not come there. Likewise, when it ceases, it does not go. It definitely does not intrinsically exist. If it does not intrinsically exist, then where is it? What is there? Dependent arising. Entities caused by the afflicted and the pure do exist. This clearly answers the question, if there is no intrinsic existence, then what does exist? The Master Buddhapalita also gives an answer that clearly distinguishes existence from essential existence. Buddhapalita's commentary on the fundamental treatise, commenting on the 12th chapter of Nagarjuna's text says, objection, if time does not exist and causes and effects and collections of causes and conditions also do not exist, then what else could exist? Therefore, the Madhyamaka position is simply a nihilistic argument. Reply, it is not so. It is utterly impossible for time and such to exist essentially, as you imagine. However, they are established as dependent designations. Thus he refutes this, saying that it is impossible for there to be essential existence, as the essentialists claim. He also says that dependent and arisings exist, they are established as dependent designations. Thus, you will overcome countless wrong ideas if you distinguish intrinsic existence in the absence of intrinsic existence from existence and non-existence. Moreover, you will not make the mistake in arguments refuting intrinsic existence for refutations of existence itself. Therefore, since the main answers that Madhyamakas give to scholars who are essentialists proceed from this list of distinctions, I have given a bit of explanation. Okay. So now we move on to the 12th chapter in the English. That's more, Rinpoche?
All right.
Okay. Shennu, the Rinpoche, Nipa. Nipa Nuje. Nipa lesson. Tatayin.
Nipa Nuje Joba na Jusome Nipa Tembas. Nuje Joba na Jusome Nipa Temba La. Temba La Je. Ne Rebe Jesu Mezu Ta Ne Sunji Menu Badan. Tseme Chuma Ru Ta Ne Gobe Sunji Menu Badan. Meji Chewa Yeme Ta Ne Gobe Sunji Menu Badan. Ngobu Yeme Suji Meji Ka Ngo Ne Neji Taba Marumba Temba Wu. Tambu Ne Zola Subi Chudada Ne Tuen Yilu Yuedan Men Jawa Machi Sheba La Suba Subi Go Ne Chujin Tu Juba Ne Chujin Juba Ne Tokana Nila Jubi Riba Dan Tatu Jubi Rishi Sheshawa Yinla Riba De Zuzuji Jawa Zuzuji Jawa Tunwa Ne Koja Mendobe Dengon So Tawa Jumedo Dengon So Tawa Jumedo Kede Tada Rebe Jimezuna Ne Rebe Jebe Yoba Jeta Nyana Jete Nyana Dene Rebe Jesu Mezudan Rebe Nemene Jido Chua De Tenda Mabu Shinare Teni Jubi Rebe Ne Gome Wenjan Jewa Medo Jewa Su Medo Shemawa Ne Poju Yinbe Kuja Matedo
Where are we?
Mendodo Rebe Jesu Mezu Jitwane Tekona Nila Jubi Rebe De Reba De Nyema Nyela ane Deyan Jejabin Reba Le Kuja Ne Namba Joba Ne Raji Tsuwa Losheba Nyeji Shiro Shezomba Tar Zuzu La Jenga La Suba Raji Yueme Tsuwa Yino Tadana Zula Suba La Rangi Nguyo Chubi Jenga Yueme Tsewa Inje Riba De Jenga Tsuwa Mino Dena Riba Tala Denila Joba Sheshade Tekona Nito Jenga Su Chuma Ru Joba Yimbe Shiro Tetabi Riba De Jeba Tsewa Na Jewa La Suba Chungse Jang Manye La Je Mezu Ba Sala Riba De Manye Ba Zangje Keba Meje Yena Riba De Chu Goba Le Te Maruna Keba Yino Zula Subi Jenga Na Jang Tanyebe Shebe Ruba Yinje Tada Yue Jang Rishi Je Mundube De Manye Ba Tada Chetar Kede Pena Mege Shebe Dama Tong Jang De Dama Keba Yino De Na Jenga La Suba Rangi Nguyo Druba Tekona Nito Chuna Riba De Nye Gude Riba De Zuzu La Rangi Nguyo Drubi Jenga yume tsujin to jeba yinbi shiro. Tatana, tatabo de jiwala suba manye be rangi nguyo juba wang, takwana ni juba jenga su goba yinte. Rangi nguyo juna de nyeba, nye goba le manye be shiro. Bina shashu su bomba yoba nyeba, bomba yoba nyeba, nyeba tsuken ji shado bomba tse manye na te shana bomba yoba keba yinje bomba yoba tang chetake te yin do rangi nguyo chubi chewa yo na nyeba oma ribi tsene chewa manye ba te rangi na rangi nguyo chubi chewa chewa keba yinje chewa tang chetarake tetayang jejabi debale
Rimche, the Chishina de Dison, the Ngayinjike, the Chiran de Tung, Jeton Gangisina, the Chiran Mipa, Kali Kabudu Tanda,
yeah.
the Nang de Lodu, then Natsu de Dawa Drapa Lonka, the Jibjabi Lonka, the Ne Jemangatsu de Dangare. I heard Rimche's having trouble with his throat right now, so we're going to just read where we are, and then we're going to do question and answer. Where did I leave off? I'm sorry. I read the new chapter, right?
Correct.
Okay, I didn't read any of that. All right. Rational analysis. And just remember, the little stuff on the top isn't in the Tibetan, so I don't read that. Those are just notes of the outline of the... It's another text, actually, that outlines the Lamrim. It's very useful. Showing that the Madhyamaka critique does not eradicate conventional existence. This has 4 parts. You cannot eradicate conventional phenomena by refuting them through investigating whether they are capable of withstanding rational analysis. You cannot eradicate conventional phenomena by refuting them through investigating whether valid cognition establishes them. 3. You cannot eradicate conventional phenomena by refuting them through investigating whether they are produced in 1 or 4 alternative ways, from self, other, both, or neither. And number 4, a refutation of all 4 parts of the tetralemma. Things exist, things do not exist, and so forth. It is not legitimate critique of conventional phenomena. Does Rinpoche have anything just to drink, something small? That's ton, Rinpoche. Ton, that's ton, Yerbe. Rinpoche, that's the chew goe. Oh, okay. I don't think he can. Okay. You cannot. Okay, so number 1, you cannot eradicate conventional phenomena by refuting them through investigating whether they are capable of withstanding rational analysis. A proper analysis of whether these phenomena, forms and such, exist or are produced in an objective sense is what we call a line of reasoning that analyzes reality, or a line of reasoning that analyzes the final status of being. Since we Madhyamakas do not assert that the production of forms and such can withstand analysis by such reasoning, our position avoids the fallacy that these are truly existent things. Question: if these things cannot withstand rational analysis, then how is it possible for something to exist when reason has refuted it? Reply: you are mistakenly conflating the inability to withstand rational analysis with the invalidation by reason. Many who have made this error claim that production and such exist even though rational analysis of reality refutes them. This is reckless chatter, so we do not agree. To ask whether something can withstand rational analysis is to ask whether it is found by a line of reasoning that analyzes reality. Chandrakirti's commentary on the 400 stanzas says, because our analysis is intent upon seeking intrinsic existence. So the Madhyamakas analysis are looking for some kind of intrinsic existence, not existence, intrinsic existence. And that's what's being negated. That's what's non-existent to a Madhyamaka, is intrinsic existence is non-existent. If these things, okay, I'm sorry, because our analysis, blah, blah, blah. So this is seeking to discover whether forms and so forth have an intrinsic nature that is produced, ceases, and so forth. Thus the analysis searches to see whether forms and so forth have production and cessation that exist essentially. It is not that this line of reasoning searches for mere production and cessation. Therefore, this line of reasoning is said to analyze reality, because it analyzes whether production, cessation, and so forth are established in reality, intrinsically. When such a line of reasoning analyzes or searches for production and so forth, it does not find a trace of them. They are unable to withstand analysis. However, the fact that this line of reasoning does not find them does not entail that it refutes them. Rather, reason refutes something that, if it did exist, could have to be established by reason, but which reason does not establish. Conventional consciousness established the production and cessation of forms and such. Although forms and such exist, reasoning consciousness do not establish them. Therefore, while reason does not find forms and such, how could it refute them? For example, a visual consciousness does not find sounds, but this does not refute them. This is similar. Therefore, if production, cessation, and so forth existed essentially, i.e., were established in reality, then reason would have to find them, because it accurately analyzes whether forms and such have essentially existent production and cessation. Since such analysis does not find production and so forth, it refutes production, cessation, and so forth that exist essentially, that is, in reality. For if they existed essentially, that analysis would have to find them, but it does not. For example, when a searcher who is certain to find a pot in the east, if it is there, searches in the east for a pot and does not find it. This refutes the existence of a pot in the east, yet how could it refute the mere existence of a pot? Similarly, Madhyamakas analyze this in a certain... Similarly, Madhyamaka analysis is certain to find essentially existent production if it exists. When it does not find production, this constitutes a refutation of intrinsically or essentially existent production. How could it refute mere production? In this vein, Chandrakirti's commentary in the 400 stanzas says. So that's where we ended. We'll begin with Chandrakirti's quote next class. And does anybody have any questions? Rinpoche, this is his first class back from the hospital, so we're very happy to have Rinpoche back, feeling well. I'm upgrading his care, so that's always good.
Sorry if I'm basically going from the mullah to like 5 layers of commentary between that and that. But if I understand Nagarjuna correctly, he's saying, especially in like the first chapter of the mullah, that any kind what's called here causes and conditions just lack any kind of intrinsic existence, but what he calls dependent origination does have some kind of intrinsic. No, dependent origination does not have any kind of intrinsic existence. Correct. Either.
Nothing does.
All right. I guess that is.
Kongi Triwa the Dendel Demba Drupa Yin.
Demba Drupa Yin Lojo.
Nge Lapsum. Nge Lenjab Sar.
Maru Jusen Karasana. Pending Benangata with the Dendedes, Mamuji Subala Tun Drupa. The Dendedes. Subala Tun Drupa Yin, Matuba Ramatu Maras.
Ine Kongi Triwa Dendel Demba Drupa Yin. Dendel.
Dendel Demba Madruba.
Madru.
Dendel Demba Maru Jusen Karasana.
Oh, okay. So dependent origination is not truly established either. It lacks intrinsic existence because dependent origination is dependent. It's a mere collection of coming together, which is the proof of lack of intrinsic existence. Dependent origination refers to the comings together. So if the I, for instance, is not intrinsically existent because it's a collection of things that came together, served as a basis, and then was named as I. So that is dependent origination. So dependent origination itself is dependent. Yeah.
Rinpoche, my question is understanding better the difference between an arhat and a Buddha. My understanding is that one of the main distinctions is bodhicitta, and that in the cultivation of bodhicitta, you achieve the removal of the obstructions to omniscience.
Mm-hmm.
So it was taught before that.
Just real quickly,
yeah.
A Buddha's an arhat.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so the difference
yes.
between a Hinayana
Yes.
arhat and a Buddha?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to frame the
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Okay.
So, my question pertains to specifically understanding the role of bodhicitta and great compassion in the context of removing the obstacles to omniscience, because, as it's been said before, love and compassion can harm the grasping at true establishment, but it cannot remove it. And it was said that only realizing emptiness removes it. So how is it so that bodhicitta, which is great compassion, is capable of removing the obstacles to omniscience?
It has to do with the self-cherishing attitude.
Okay.
I'll ask Rinpoche, because the
Okay.
grasping at self-cherishing attitude
Okay.
isn't removed completely.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, Rinpoche, the teme da jomba dang sanje, the chapa kongi tsampa, the teme da jomba shidri pakcha yure, den sunsang kon the namchen yomare, dene sanje nudri dan shidri pakcha nika tsar, pangsar. Then kongi triwa, the gar shene semche, the shidri pakcha nipo. Garishene. Ganginsena, the teme da jomba semche yomare, den sunsan the kongi tsampa, konkelen. Teme da jomba semche yomare, den sunsan kon temepa. Semche yona kon sanje yin. Techempa. Then kongi chiwa, the garishene semche dukchembo. Garishene, the semche, the shijipacha nipo. Ranchenzin.
Sentient tantric and Sanji Kum Tuba Shaonabe, Lo Chabajin Tanjila Sanji Lagro.
Less so.
Sentient tantric and Sanji Kum Tuba Shaonabe, Lo the Shedag Nubachavres.
Less so.
Take it only to be Herald Troshe. Tony to be Herald Troshe Vainta, Tenzin Basha Nunwars.
The Garishene, the Nupa Gare, Garishene, the Semche, the Nupa Chembo, Garishene. The Ranchenzing, Ginepo, Ranch.
Sentient tantric and Sanji Kum Tuba Shaonabe, Lo de what they could Nubachavres.
So the mind itself that's wishing that that leaves the idea of just yourself and then transfers this idea of liberation to all sentient beings is a much more powerful mind. It's a much greater mind. Hence, it's called the great vehicle as opposed to lesser vehicle because of the broadness of the mind. It's looking to become a Buddha in order for everyone to be free from suffering, etc. So it's the broadness of the mind has an enormous amount of power that the smaller mind of the Hinayanist does not have.
What the Tony to be Sheryl Drosha is the Tony to be Sheryl the Daniel Taba Druma Lu Drunzi.
So then the wisdom realizing emptiness is able to eradicate the grasping at true establishment, just like realizing a rope is a rope and not believing it's a snake. So if you saw in a dimly lit room a rope and thought it was a snake, as soon as you know it's a rope, it removes all of the wrong ideas that came around it, you thinking that it was a snake. So when you combine, Rinpoche is saying, this thought, this understanding of reality with this greater broad mind, it has the ability to get rid of those imprints. Dene Rinpoche, the ngama chiran sumpare, the semche nupa, the rang chenzin, the teme da jumba ran chenzin yure, the ran chenzin, the dets the dadzin yure, then the pakcha, the denzin pakcha yure, den sunsan kon ran chenzin, dets yure, the datayin. So it's true that the Hinayana foe destroyer still has self-cherishing attitude. So that is, it's from the imprints. Those imprints that are lingering there causes that to still be there. So it's that mind that aspires to enlightenment that acts as an antidote.
Could I ask one more question?
That makes sense. Okay, sure, because of the broadness.
So in understanding how karma works, basically we can say that whatever suffering might come to us, we have a basis for that cause, or the cause of that suffering in our own minds based on our previous actions. So I wanted to understand how I could explain to others basically how to understand the law of karma in the context of how you defend for yourself. Because if you're going to defend yourself in the context of someone else who wants to harm you, the notion that karma, the reason why this person wants to harm me is because of my own actions and my own previous karma, gets in the way of wanting to defend yourself, because it's like you deserve it, So if someone was harmed by someone, then you can say, oh, they deserved it, and that's it, and there's no action to defend that person. Do you see what I'm saying? So how do you find the basis?
You say they deserved it in terms of, at a macro view, in terms of the karma. They didn't deserve it because of something they did this life necessarily.
Okay.
Is that what you mean? I just want to make sure I'm framing.
Well, I think
because the macro view of Buddhism is not that, oh, they deserved it because they did something bad yesterday. The macro view of Buddhism is that maybe 1,000,000 lifetimes ago, they hit a donkey with a stick, and there's an imprint of that negativity there, and some condition arose which allowed that to arise as an experience.
Right.
So it's not... So I just want to make sure that, and Buddhism also, that from the side of the experiencer of the hitting, you want to stop that person from hitting you because they're creating non-virtue by hitting you and creating suffering for their future by hitting you.
Okay.
Rinpoche, the ngatsu jikten sansan kalikabudu ganginsene the sansan me jenda ngatsu nu gugudu nu. Dene the ngatsu the konsu nu kana yabudu gangin sene ngatsu le ngama ngatsu dipa sason den sunsan konsu chikshene konsu nga shujason den nga the garshene the mejenda nga the shin chikshene shin nga go shujason den garshene the ngame the le jepo dene the ngatsu ka yabudu the ngatsu the digsong yapudu gangin sene the ngatsu dipayen ngatsu the jutsen ngatsu then chiran sanlo garyube the nuken lena kana makana.
This is an artist. Zobaguan doba yona kaiju maris.
Less so.
Zobaguma tuna kagoris.
So Rinpoche said that every experience is different and every individual is different. If one is able to practice patience and not retaliate, then this is good. But then some circumstances are good to stop the person who is trying to harm you. So it's not a blanket answer for all circumstances.
I see that there's a major obstacle that arises when, for example, someone would have be the victim of some kind of crime, and then, just very blanketly saying that from the law of karma he deserved it. Especially for people who don't necessarily believe in karma, or who don't come from the perspective of karma, to understand, so you're suddenly blaming this person for something that he didn't do, this innocent person. Do you see what I'm saying? How it's
No.
So like, you know, you could say like even like a child, you know, if like a child was abused, you know, by their father, you know.
So who is this person saying, oh, they deserved it? Who is this person?
No, I'm saying
no,
that.
I'm saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Is anyone else catching that? Like, who's this person that's saying that?
It's called victim blaming the victim for bad things that happen to them. It's
Yeah.
in our culture.
But I think what I'm getting at is that the law of
That's something
karma,
subtle, though.
the law
I know
of
about
karma,
victim
in a
blaming.
very general way of thinking, wants to say that the victim of that abuse is to be blamed for their experiencing that suffering because they did something in the past.
But they didn't do something in the past. That's the
Okay.
mistaken part there.
Okay.
That person isn't to be blamed because they didn't do it. Joe Blow did it in the past, or the donkey did it when he stepped on the ant when you were the donkey.
Okay.
So you've got to separate that it's Jeff's fault because it wasn't Jeff's karma. My
Okay.
continuum isn't Jeff.
Okay.
My continuum isn't Jeff, John, Mike, Donkey, or Pete. My continuum is just whatever is nominally designated at the moment that the continuum is a being, is experiencing within a being, whatever that experiencer is. So Buddhism doesn't say ever that it's Jeff's fault. It would say that in the continuum there's a cause for that to have happened. So it explains it, but doesn't blame it. It just explains it. I think Western culture is always looking for blame and so forth, but all that Buddhism does is explains things, explains why things happen. There's not a blame, it's just an explanation of why a circumstance arises.
Okay. That's good. Thank you.
Thanks.
One just really quick question about the translation or the text and whether when it uses this sort of expression forms and such, is that just sort of
Everything.
But is it shorthand for the aggregate? I mean, it's sort of referring to everything. As
Okay,
the five
I can ask
aggregates?
if it's in that specific case. Does it mean the four other aggregates
know
as
that
well?
kind of
What
means
page, real quick?
Well, it's 156, just right at the top. But it occurs at
It does occur a lot. I just
yeah.
want to give him an exact, because it may be in some cases it may be referring to everything, or in some cases may be referring to the aggregate. So I just want to be specific. 156 top. Okay, let's see. Where's the first break? Of course. That won't be hard to find. Just give me 1 sec. Konchiwa yure, deskurum nge ragian. Tambo zu. Okay. Rinpoche, here, the zula sopichu. The pumonga, the zudan chu tamche. The lamatson kappa tambo ni. The zula sopichu de dag don yen lo. The pumonga.
Zula Zubi Chusong, the Chut Tomamar.
Chutamche. In this case, it's when it says and such. In the Tibetan, it's and all phenomena really. So it's referring to forms and everything else, not just specifically the aggregates in this case.
And then the other question I had is just when earlier it was mentioned that there's beginningless consciousness and then beginningless possessors of consciousness. Are those possessors? Would that be like a body, and are there other options other than bodies?
It's defined as a being imputed on any among the five aggregates.
Okay.
So it's just that when we say person that is a being imputed on any among of the five aggregates, and that person possesses consciousness.
So in the
Nge de kon kansa kitseni gare. De nge kansa kitseni lavson. De
Logriba.
lavson.
Homongamaka, and Chebut Kanaka.
Lapsar. Dene kongichiwa the kansa the sheba ken.
강자 시보 많이 나오래.
Sheba Ken.
시보 괜찮나?
Ken.
시보 찐이었어.
Sheba Chan.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, just want to make sure I explained it correctly. So the person is the possessor of consciousness. Person is defined as a being imputed on any among the 5 aggregates. The reason it just doesn't say 5 aggregates, it says among, because there are formless realm beings who only have 4 aggregates.
And so in the bardo, it would be something along those lines, like not a sort of physical body that we.
The light
Group,
body
but
of the
some sort of-
bardo, but
okay,
it
yeah.
takes on the form of the next life. But it can change karmically in the bardo up to 7 times, I think. Rinpoche, the bardo la, the dendru, the ne je, the tem dun, the tambo me, the ne dendru, the ne la, the bardo nang la, tem dun, je tugudu.
What this is yours.
Yes, so 7 times. Okay, so there can be 7 different experiences within the intermediate state in terms of your body, if you will. Just, I don't think it's like light body, but you could be a god and then a human, then a horse, and then it can change. That's not the norm, but it can up to 7 times. So the intermediate state is the thing between our death and next life. It's where we are when we're going, the place we are when we're going to our next life. The place we are when we're going to our next life after we've died. The place we will be. You get it. Okay. Anyone else?
The Buddha nature is in all of us. It exists in all of us. Is the Buddha nature also in a dog?
Yes. All
And
sentient
if it
beings.
is in a dog, does the dog have the capacity to manifest the Buddha nature?
The
Or is-
Buddha, it
or
has
do
the
you-
Buddha nature. The Buddha, any possessor of consciousness has Buddha nature. So any being in any of the realms of cyclic existence has Buddha nature.
And so all the
ki
animals.
Rinpoche kongi chua ki. This Sanjay ri yurbe. Think lai. This sheba yu. Yuna Sanjay ri yu. So Rinpoche, if you have conscious, Rinpoche just said the same thing I did. If you are a possessor of consciousness, then you have Buddha nature. It always makes me happy when Rinpoche repeats what I said. It means I'm on the right track, or at least near the track. At least getting off the exit to the track.
If scientists determine that there are other sentient beings in other, forget the
Worlds.
word. No, not worlds, but say plants. Plants have are sentient beings. Scientists determine that, I don't know, a mountain has consciousness.
If they do, or
If they do,
Okay.
if they do, then will there be more than the 6 realms of existence? And will Buddhism change as a result of that?
Rinpoche, Tanda Yomare, Gemma. The Chenripa, the Lobjong Mambo Chegudu. The ne Gemma, Konsot Sampa, the Shin Sheba Yure. The Ri Sheba Yure. Metu Sheba Yure. Gemma, Chenripa, the Kelena, the Dawa Dun, Zugare. Tanda, the Dawa Ritu. The ne Gemma, Dawa Ritun, Dawa Ritje. No, Sanjay le Namchen. Sanjay Kelen, the Metu Yo Sheba Yoma. Now, there's been large amounts of debates in scripture about, are there more than 6? Why is the number 6? The Buddha has gone over and over in debate about why plants and such are not sentient beings, trees are not sentient beings, mountains are not sentient beings, and why. There's actually schools that debated the Buddha in scripture about that because the flower opens, when the sun shines, it knows to open, and that means it has consciousness because it wants to see the sun. And Buddhism said, no, this is just cause and effect happening. There's, warmth happening, so the flower knows that the warmth is happening and needs to open. So anyway, it's described in some way of cause and effect, and it's refuting that just because something occurs because of something else, that makes it sentient. So Buddhism's very sure about the six. You saw them both shaking their head no, because the Buddha is considered omniscient. So what the Buddha asserted to be true, if it was not figurative, because there's literal and figurative, if it's presented as something literal, then it's considered truth.
Okay, thank you.
That's why I get confused about the Mount Meru thing, where they say, well, if science says it, it's okay, because the Buddhists don't really believe that, and I don't want them to say that if they don't believe that. Anyway, it's my aside. Nothing to do with anything but my aside.
I'm going to try to articulate some jumbled thinking.
Do it up. Let's go.
Okay. A tukul.
Yes.
Tukul is a rebirth,
Yes.
and there's
It's-
a lineage.
Real quickly.
Yep. Okay.
Toku means the emanation body of a Buddha in Tibetan. Now, we have tokus, but it's supposed to be like the emanation. It's the emanation of a Buddha is what that is supposed to be. The tuku, the kongichiwa, the tuku, the Rinpoche yure. The nga segudu, the den sanlo danga, the toku, the trupa, sanje trupa. Yene tuku yena trupa yimbicha. So it's just Rinpoche is saying it's just the name of emanation. It doesn't mean he's like just saying they call that, they're using that name emanation, but it doesn't mean it necessarily is.
Okay. I'm interested in ancestry. So if a tukul is there any there's a lineage there, the word lineage
Never
is used,
blood, though.
but not blood.
Correct.
Okay. So what does Tibetan Buddhism say or think about ancestry in terms of genes that are followed from consciousness of genes that are followed from one generation to another? And I ask this only because I've been reading a little bit. Thich Nhat Hanh talks a lot about ancestry and the importance of honoring mother, father, generations before,
The Vietnamese
and that
tradition.
the consciousness that's the consciousness that follows. That's the consciousness that is. I don't know what they would call it, luminous consciousness or whatnot, but the genetic. And I'm just wondering, is that a science question? Are we talking
So
DNA?
the question is this, the genetics that are passed on, are those, see, Buddhism wouldn't say that, Buddhism would say that those are part of the collection of parts that are coming together. Buddhism wouldn't say that those are all individual strains of consciousness. It could say that those genes are causes for consciousness, but wouldn't say that they are consciousness. So the Rinpoche, the Senripa, the Kelen, the Ngatsu Pama, Ama Dam Paba, the Gonga, the Ama, the Gonga, then Paba, the Garpo, the Nanga, the genes yure. The garshene nga nge mikpa ngompo, garshene nge dra serpo, and garshene nga ke yapudu, then garshene nge napo, garshene nge garpo. Dene the tsen ripa kelen, and then ngatsu paba dang ama, the gunga dang garpo nangla the nupa yure. Genes, they mean. The gangyun sena nge paba, the natsa chipa. Nge ama paba natsa chipa. The ne sen ripa de lobjung shegadu gangyun sena the me gariakshu. The kong paba natsa gare. Dene konde salo dangdu. Dene de konsot sampa de paba de natsa rik. Dene gar shene de jeans iming. Then nge paba the garpo jean nangla drapodu. Den sunsang nga chini natsa yure. Gangin nge paba chini natsa yure. Dene de garpo nangla de chini natsa nupa yure. Den sunsang de pugo jeson chini natsa yure. Then sen ripa de kelen. Then de charan salogari yube.
Chenrezig kebareso de Chenrezig de
Dene de charan sampa de sheba re sheba mamo nangla de garpo sheba mamo nangla. Dene de gonga nangla sheba mambo sheba ju mambo garre.
Anga yuaras.
Sheba ju dang sheba.
Mama yuaras.
So you could say there are many consciousnesses and many consciousnesses and many consciousnesses causes within the I brought it to sperm and egg because that's what's transferred, and it's saying that in that there is an ability, what is called genes, which are there are parts of that have ability and to produce sickness, to produce yellow hair, to produce blue eyes. I tried to explain it as coarsely as I could. And Rinpoche said, scientists are very smart. There are both consciousnesses and causes for consciousnesses there. Lots of them. Quote, unquote.
Yeah, thanks.
Da Geshe Lharampa
Ask Geshe a question, if you have one for him. Or we can just end. Rinpoche is just putting him on the spot. You don't have to torture him. You really don't, unless you need to, feel the need to.
Geshe La, could I ask a question about basically? So this might be a hard question because it's having to do with science.
Yeah, how about we don't do hard, because I don't
Let's not
translate
do
for him, and
okay,
it's going to
so-
be really hard for me to do this right
Okay,
now.
so maybe
They
not
don't
a
have the
science
same
question.
dialect.
Okay.
I mean, try it, but I'm just saying that, like,
Oh, this is actually does pertain to Buddhism. Okay. In
We are-
Buddhism, there is the belief in, and to my understanding, there's a belief in the inseparable particles or atoms, correct? That there's belief in atoms.
yeah, but there's that never is broken down to one. But yeah,
So
there's no particle that can't be broken.
Okay, so
There's always a north, south, east, and west, up and down.
and then so there's always parts of the atom that can be
Right.
broken down into more parts.
Right.
Okay, so it just keeps going.
Right.
Okay, so that was my question because basically,
Konnichiwa, the Nampichu, the Senripa, the Du, the Zu Yure, the Du Mambo, Du Mambo, then Semchen Yure, Du Adam, Du, Adam, it's called Du, Adam. The Zu Yure Rinpoche, the Chungumpi Zu, then the Du Mambo Yure, then the Dorje you. The Du. Puik Du. Yomarbe. Yeah, Rinpoche, I'm using the right word.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that,
okay, and this
I
pertains
don't know
to
why, but it's all good.
this pertains.
You might
to,
not understand my Tibetan at all.
This pertains to basically how to conceive of emptiness in the context of partless atoms. But you said that that atoms
there's
still
no
have
partless
parts,
atoms.
and that's how you would derive the emptiness of atoms.
Yeah, there's no partless anything.
Okay.
Then they control the Du Dendel Yin. Yeah, the Du Dendel Yin. Shar Nu Jang. The Mambo Yure. The Shar Nu Jang. The Mambo. The up, down. Okay, so we're going to do some prayers. Concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. Sheda Yabudu to Chena. Sheda Sobudu. Let's do this again sometime. How about Sunday? It's not the first Wednesday yet, is it? Please tell me it's not, because that means it's the first of the month. That's a scary day. All right, let's do this. Concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Losang Drakpa to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well, with whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traverse the 3 times. I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In the pure land surrounded by snowy mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness, all powerful. Avalokiteshvara, Tenzin Gyatso, may you stay until samsara's end. I pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Wandak, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, the spiritual friend who trained extensively in the 5 great philosophical texts, with exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Tuji Rimche, Guti Shapi Denrunang. Tsu Lamrim Chenmo Kangachirinang. And as far as the Tolkus go, the reason that Rinpoche was saying